Hey there guys, it's Sam and welcome back to a brand new video. And finally, it's been a long time, hasn't it? I've had a 3-week break, just for reasons personal to me. I got a bit tired of doing YouTube because I did daily uploads for most of the summer and I got a little bit tired, and then also that coincided with my F1 2015 game breaking, and then also me getting a horrible cold which lasted pretty much a week. So a lot of things have happened, and my throat's still a bit rough, but I'm pretty much back to 100%, and I've got a lot more renewed motivation now. And the plan from now on out is I'm going to more or less try to do daily uploads, more or less. I'm not promising it, but I'm going to try. So basically what's going to happen is, whenever there's not a video on this channel, there will be a video on the second channel. So I'm going to leave a link on screen right now to go subscribe to the second channel, because every single day that there's not a video on this channel, there'll be one on my second channel. My second channel is going to probably take priority over my first one, just because until my F1 2015 game gets fixed, there's not going to be a hell of a lot of content on this channel. So hopefully you guys can understand that. And without further ado, we're going to jump into this video, which I'm definitely looking forward to showing you guys. So yeah, let's do it. Hey there guys, it's Sam and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is the finale of the Nebula Racing League on rFactor. And you guys absolutely loved the first race that I've uploaded, which was Brazil, and that was actually the penultimate race, and this is now the finale. But you guys absolutely loved it, so I've tried my absolute hardest to try and get this video out for you guys. So hopefully you appreciate it, and if you appreciate the effort, then please leave a like down below, because I had a couple of issues with this video, because for some reason the recording was like semi-corrupted. For some reason I was struggling to edit it in Vegas, because it wasn't it wasn't reacting well to when I was playing the video. But I managed to get it all sorted out, and we're here in Japan. As you can see, we're starting from the back of the grid, because in qualifying it was a mixed conditions qualifying, and I come unstuck. But nevertheless, here we are then, getting ready to gear up for the 5 red lights for the final time this season in Nebula, and the Japanese Grand Prix is going to get underway now. And as you can see, we get a pretty good start off the line. There's someone getting a little bit of wheel spin there, losing the contact, losing the rear end, and crashing into a car. There's about a crash straight off the start here as we go into turn number 1. And I'm actually on the option tyres, by the way guys. That man that you see on the left hand side, which is Liam Mangan, is actually in the intermediates, because for some reason the replay file glitches out and all the tyres are set to medium. So there are some people on the hards and some people on mediums. Alright, there is some rain expected, and as you can see, we're just making our way past Liam that was in the intermediate struggling, who was hoping for a bit of rain at the start of the race. And now we're on the back of Evan Rice, who's in the first of the Toro Rossos, in a very impressive qualifying for both of the Toro Rossos actually get themselves into the top 6. But now we're right on the back of Evan, as you can see, as we got the inside off the Degner curve, trying to go up the inside in there. As we now come to Degner number 1, we're going to make the move around the outside and make the move stick there, and it's a very nice overtake on Evan. And we're up into P6 I think so far, so not too bad. Craig is leading the way, so we've got to try and hunt him down, because we definitely want to win this race, and he's probably going to be the man to beat as we come into the hairpin for the first time, filtering through. And as you can see, Cal, who has also started at the back, my teammate, he's also making his way through the field, and both of us have overtaken a couple of cars already, and we're well into the top 10 thus far. And going now towards the end of number 1, we're on the back of Nick Bracchi now, who's in the Red Bull, doing a pretty impressive job there in P4 I believe. And he's had a really good qualifying session, and we need to try and displace him now as soon as possible. And here we are now, coming out the spoon curve, going down the back straight, and we're getting into the slipstream of Nick Bracchi. All the cars are unequal, by the way guys, so it's going to be very close, but we're going to try and go up the inside of 130R, but we think better of it. We had a little look up the inside, but it was no good. But we are going to get a really good run out of 130R into the final chicane, into the Casio chicane, and we're going to go up the inside of Nick there with a very nice textbook clean move there at the inside. Now Cal's going to try and capitalise his contact in the background. There's a Toro Rosso backwards, I think, of Evan Rice. And now we're going down the pit strategy. You see, I'm trying to get the slipstream off Scott Davison, who's ahead of me in the other Toro Rosso. Meanwhile, Cal's trying to take Nick as we go to the inside. Can he make the move? No, he can't. Up the inside of turn 1, and Nick defends very nicely there from my teammate. And so far we're going to hold station, but we definitely had a pretty good first lap so far, and we're looking good to try and catch triggers. Now we're on the back of Scott Davison as we go through the S's, getting a really good run, getting right on the gearbox of the Toro Rosso driver here. And we've had a really strong start to the race so far, and we're coming possibly line him up for a move now, coming out of this final part of the S's, maybe possibly up into the Degner curve. We're going to have to wait and see as we get right into the slipstream now through this left-hander, and can we possibly make a move to the Degner? No, we can't, we're too far back, but maybe we can try and line him up for a move somewhere else as we now try and get a really nice line through the corners. Cal was overtaking Nick Bracchi through the S's, I think, or something like that. So he's made a move on the Red Bull as well, as now we're going to try maybe dart the inside of the hairpin of Scott. No, we don't. And Kashi runs in really hot in behind, almost going to the back of me there. But I tried to have a little look up the inside of Scott, the hairpin, but there's no use. And now Cal is all over the back of me here, and Cal's going to maybe try and line up for a move. But at the time, because we're talking to each other, we did decide team orders, no action taken. So I've run awfully deep into the spoon curve, almost going into the back of Scott Davison, but Scott broke really early and caught me right out. And so far nothing happened there. We got quite lucky, and I was talking to Cal on TeamSpeak, and we decided team orders, no action between each other. We're going to try and get our way through the field, and now we're going to pull up the inside of Scott Davison through 130 up the inside. We're going to lose the rear end and pull off a massive slide mid-corner, and Scott Davison's going to run wild with us, and Cal's going to go to the outside, but he's run deep. He's going to completely miss the final chicane. It's all kicking off here, and Cal, I believe, got a 10-second stop-go penalty for it, which was very harsh because we can't turn penalties off, so Cal's going to have to come in. It's been forced for him to come into the pit, and meanwhile Scott Davison is coming back down there inside. Can he make a move up the inside of the first corner? Yes, he does, but we're going to try and get the switch back on him, and we do a Scott pulls off a lovely drift around the outside there, but we managed to get a textbook switch back on Scott Davison there for P3 now, and a brilliant little scrap there between us two and also Cal. And now, like I said, we're finally into P3, and we can try and really settle into this race now and trying to hunt down Sam and Craig, who are ahead of us. But now skipping onto that 5, as you can see, it is raining, and the rain really did come down. As you can see, we're running wide here through 130 yard because the rain is coming down so fast, and we're going to have to respond by coming into the pit lane for our 7th intermediate, surely. And here we are coming through the final corner, as you can see, and we're actually going to dive into the pit lane, and Craig is also into the pits ahead of us, so expect everybody to be pitting this lap. So we're coming to the pit lane now, and Cal actually pit a couple of laps to go because of that 10-second stop go, so he won't be stacking behind me, so that's a good thing in a way. But here we are coming to our pit box now. There's Sam, and we've got a really awkward pit box this race. We've got to try and turn right in front of Craig there, as you can see, and line up into the pit box, and almost over to shoot my marks, but just about managed to stop the car in time. But it's a very awkward pit lane for me this race because I've got to go right around Craig, which isn't ideal. But we rejoined just behind Sam, so we've actually gained, I think, a little bit in the pit stop phase. But skipping later on to lap 8, the rain continued to fall, and we're going to come in for the full wet tyres because it's just getting too wet out on track crazy. As we go almost into the back of Sam, they're locking up both fronts, getting really close to the pit, to the actual line there, and then we managed to slow it down just in time for the minimum speed, or the maximum speed, sorry, for the pit lane that is required. As you see, Craig's lined up for his pit box. Then we've got to go, once again, we've got to go around him here. And as we come to the pit box, we overshoot our marks. That's because of the wet weather. The pit lane was really wet, and obviously I broke at the same time, at the same point that I did in the dry. But obviously, with it being wet, I overshot my marks a little bit. And there's a car's gone past us there, and I think that's a Red Bull. That could be Nick Brackey. So he somehow might have managed to jump us, so he must have come in for the inters, or the full wet, should I say, a lap earlier or something, because he managed to pull off a brilliant strategy call. But now in lap 9, we're on the back of Nick, but as you can see, the amount of spray being kicked up, I can't see anything at all. But we're going to try and go for the move anyway as we go around the outside of the Casio chicane. Can we make the move? It's going to become the inside for the second part, but Nick holds his position very nicely there, and we're going to have to try and live the fight for another day because Nick defended really nicely there. But now we're going to get into his slipstream now down the pit straight, and this is surely going to be a foregone conclusion as we go down the pit straight here into turn number 1. Can we go up the inside? Look how much spray is being kicked up by the cars, but we're going to go up the inside of Nick there in turn 1, and it's a lovely move, and we're up back into P3 there. So now we can try and get our head down and try and focus and catch Sam once again, because obviously we had a nice little scrap there with Nick for a couple of corners, and so I've got to say, really good strategy call from Nick there. I don't know what, I think apparently he supposedly went from the dry tyres straight onto the full wets, apparently. That's what I heard. So he put off a brilliant strategy call, but now lap 13, as you can see, we run deep into the chicane, and we made a little mistake, and there's Craig in front of us, and the reason being is because Sam actually disconnected a couple of laps ago. So Sam had a disconnection, which allowed us to go up into P2, and now we're on the back of Craig Baxter, so we're going to try and hunt him down for the race win now. But as you see on lap 17, it's all sunny now, and the track's really starting to dry because it stopped raining quite a while ago, and this lap we're actually going to come in for the intermediate tyres. As you see, Craig's going to pit lane, and we're going to follow him in, and we need to try and gain as much time as possible and try and make the pit stop as optimum as it can be. So here we go into the pit limiter now, and judging by the gap, we might be able to hold up Craig a little bit on his getaway, which might be a good thing for us. As you can see, there's Craig coming into his pit box now, and he's going to be serviced by his mechanics, and we're just going to try and get as close as we can to try and cost him a little bit of time as we stop on our marks now, going on to the intermediate tyres, and there goes Craig, and we're going to get away ourselves, and we've got pretty much 10 laps or 10 full laps to try and catch Craig. So can we make this work? It's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out, but I mean, you know, we won the last race, so if there's anything we can do, we're going to have to do it right now. And as you can see, going on to that 23 now, we've caught up to Craig quite a bit now, and the reason I'm showing this is because, as you can see, the rain started to fall down again, so it's starting to get wet once again, so this could possibly spark up another pit stop for the wets, but it wasn't to be, because as you can see, even though it's quite well right now, it wasn't wet enough for the full wet tyres. And skipping on to the final lap of the race, we caught up to Craig, but we just didn't have enough laps to try and pass him, and Craig's going to win the final race of the season for the Nebula Racing League, and we're going to come home in second place for a massive 18 points. And this pretty much seals the deal because Sam disconnected and Mac finishing 5th, I believe, whereas myself and Cal finished 2nd and 4th. So we as Mercedes have overtaken Williams for 2nd place in the constructors, which was our goal going into this race because the World Championship had already been wrapped up. But nevertheless, that was the Nebula Racing League for this season. That was the Japanese Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and there'll be more rFactor on the channel very soon. I'm thinking of doing possibly a Nebula Winter League, which I think will be the Formula E mod. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you in. But it seems like you guys absolutely love rFactor, so I might try and make it somehow a more regular thing on the channel. So yeah guys, that's about it from me, and I'll see you guys next time. So from me, goodbye.